sportscene.tv.net, coming to you from Azusa Pacific University. It's the Etiwanda Eagles and the Damien Spartans, and they're introducing the starting lineups. So let's go ahead and pause so you can introduce the young men for both teams.
Jordan McLaughling.
So there was a starting five for both teams. We're glad you could join us here on the sportscenetv.net. Triple coverage earlier on. It was the Roland Raiders against the Los Osos Grizzlies. And then we also brought to you the Upland Highlanders against the Chino Hills Huskies. And we are glad you could join us as it's the Damien Spartans 3 AAA Sierra League team. They're in first place with a record of 6-0 in league, 20-1 overall. And in their league is Chino Hills, Ayala, South Hills, Claremont, and Charter Oak. And in their last game, they beat Claremont 62-42. We'll give you some information here on the Etiwanda Eagles. We covered them earlier in the year against Upland High School. In that game, Jordan McLaughling, number 11, scoring 20-some points. And also that massive slam dunk. Tip-off goes to the Eagles. Quickly turned over the ball. Good defensive pressure by Clayton White, the senior. For the Damien Spartans, their head coach is Matt Dunn. And again, their impressive record of 20 wins, 1 loss, 6-0. And there is McLaughling with the steal, and he's going to go up for the little dunk, and he goes for the dunk. So Jordan McLaughling getting things started for the Etiwanda Eagles. We know he can get in the air, and he did it here at APU at a collegiate level gymnasium here at Azusa Pacific University. So McLaughling getting up in the air and getting 2 points while he's at it. Here's a shot for 3, just missed. Rebound volleyed around, back to Etiwanda. Going coast to coast, pausing for the clock here to slow things down. Around they go. McLaughling with the ball. Gives it his teammate who shoots it, just misses. And he was going for 3. That's Brandon Towns. And the rebound for the Spartans. Etiwanda, we say, 1 AA in the baseline league. They are in first place with a record of 6-0, 21-1 record. In the baseline league, we have Upland, Glendora, Rancho Cucamonga, Alta Loma, and Los Osos. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll go back to Etiwanda. The Eagles with a victory over Glendora, 55-40. And with 6:38 remaining in the quarter, 2-0 is the score. Etiwanda with that big dunk there from Jordan McLaughling. Going up in the air with a hook shot, no good. Rebound back to Damien. That was Sam Fleming, the senior forward. And if we recall when the Upland Highlander Etiwanda game was played, they called Sam the smallest, biggest forward in the league. I'm glad you could join us here. I'm Anthony Serenano along with Brian Gillette working the cameras. Brian will be with us in our Monday podcast. This one goes up and misses. Rebound follow up with Damien. The Spartans with an impressive Sierra League record. Sure to see them in the playoffs as well as Etiwanda. Of course, these two teams wouldn't face each other. They're both in 2 divisions. As the jumper just misses. That was taken by Jared Dizon. And here comes Etiwanda's Sheldon Blackwell. loose ball, and with 5:42 in the first quarter, it's still 2-0 in favor of Etiwanda. Here's a shot for three. Count it. Good for number 20, Keith Kavanaugh, the junior. So Etiwanda now trailing by 1, 3-2 after that big three. Look at McLaughling. He's going to go for the three. Misses that one. Rebound back to Damien. So this is considered the premier game in this tournament. Well, we wouldn't call it a tournament, a non-league game, as Coach Hamlow would say of the Rolling Raiders, who coordinated the event. He said some of these teams get an opportunity to play a certain amount of non-league games, and some decide they're going to pass early on in the year and wait to play a non-league game here at APU and other locations as well going on. And boy, what a nice area to play a non-league game here at APU on Hamlow Court. Of course, Hamlow Court named after Cliff Hamlow, the father of Gordon Hamlow of the Rolling Raiders, who puts on this tournament or this game every year, this shootout, as the shot goes in and out, rattles. And for 10 years, they've been putting it on. Going up and in for the layup is number 15, Chris Reyes. Puts in the 2 points, and it's a 5-2 lead in favor of Damien. Nice paced ball game. Glad you could join us. And again, here on SportsSceneTV.net, we bring you video highlights. Now full game coverage, our triple header games. And McLaughling for three. Misses that one as it rolls off the lip of the rim. Also our weekly podcast, we talk to head coaches and our scholar athletes as this ball goes out of bounds, and going with it was number 4, Brandon Towns. He went up to about the third row. And a very nice tournament. Well, again, I keep calling it tournament, and that's just by default. But again, there is no trophy, and the only, non-league game this is, but a big non-league game this is. But seeing a lot of familiar faces, teams that we've covered. Los Osos in the Baseline League with Etiwanda and Upland. We got Damien. Oh, look at that nice little put up and in layup. That was number 32, Isaiah McCullough. And not only are we seeing familiar faces with coaches and players, but even officials. The official who chased Brian Gillette off the court is behind the basket right now over at Diamond Bar High School. And when we say chased Brian off, it was in a joking way, not a serious matter, as this ball's knocked loose. And McLaughling with the ball. Be careful, he'll go up in the air, and he is stripped of the ball. Not sure if Brian will be able to get a shot of him, but I know we were able to do it when we did our Scholar Athlete, when we interviewed McLaughling. On the left side of his head, he has a nice eagle emblem embedded there. And of course, somebody with a nice artistic work putting the eagle signia there, and he still continues to have that here in this ball game. The shot rattles around and goes in for McLaughling. So McLaughling has 3 points in the game. It's a 4-point ball game lead for Damien, 7-3. Now in the ball game is CJ Highland, the senior. McLaughling is a sophomore, believe it or not, as he sinks that in. So he has 2 more years to go with this program, and I'm sure head coach Dave Kleckner of Etiwanda is happy to have him. Trying to reach in to grab the ball, Sheldon Blackwell. .329 remaining in the opening quarter. Here at SportsSceneTV.net. We are the Felix Center, home of the Azusa Pacific University Cougars. Underneath the basket and putting it in with an exclamation mark with the dunk, number 15, Chris Reyes picks up his 4th point in the ball game. 3-11, 9-4 in favor of Damien. What a ball game this is, Etiwanda and Damien. The only other team missing we would like to have seen maybe was Laverne Lutheran. Who knows, maybe Coach Hamlin will be able to get him in there. Put that one in, it rolls off the lip of the rim, but rebound right there for number 25, DeLewis Johnson. This time, Damien keeps the ball on the turnover. And with 2:46 remaining in the quarter, it's still 9-4 in favor of Damien. Damien got on the board with 4 points from Chris Reyes, 3 points from Keith Kavanaugh, check that, and Isaiah McCullough with 2 points. For the Etiwanda Eagles, a 2-point basket from Jordan McLaughling, who slammed that in along with the 2 points from the free throw. Here's a turnover taken away by DeLewis Johnson, the freshman. So Etiwanda with a freshman on the court. playing at the varsity level. So we're saying Jordan McLaughling was a sophomore. Well, there's a freshman. And here's a shot taken by Dominique Walker. He is a senior. 2:04 remaining, 9-6, 3-point lead by Damien. And boy, this gymnasium has filled up. In between penalties and timeouts, this gymnasium was really quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Now we got a full capacity, or close to full capacity, at least on our side of the arena. The bottom level that's below us filled, and then the upper level where we're at behind us filling up quickly with parents and other fans alike. From Damien, mostly it looks like. Checking in the ball game now is for the Etiwanda Eagles, number 21, Sam Fleming, and number 5, Dominic Alexander. Driving into the paint, putting it up and in is Jared Dizon. 2 points for Dizon, the junior. 1:45 remaining in the opening quarter. Jumper, 10-footer, counted in and good for Brandon Towns. And Towns puts 2 points under his belt and puts his name in the scorebook. 28 seconds of the shot clock. 1:30 remaining in the opening quarter. Nice little alley-oop. No, just missed it. Everybody in here oohing and awing as they were hoping that one was going to fall in. Looked like it was going to go in, just a little too much, I guess, rolled out off the lip of the rim. 5-footer, no good. McLaughling with the follow-up, push from behind, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So going to the line is Jordan McLaughling. McLaughling already 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He sinks that one in. In our post-game interview with him and our Scholar Athlete, if you want to take a look at any of our Scholar Athlete interviews where we recognize these athletes for doing their successful accomplishments in the classroom, you can take a look at McLaughlin's interview, and he said in that ball game against Upland where he scored 20, he says that's not the most he scored. He's had a 26-point game. Right now, McLaughlin's has 6 points. 1:10 remaining in the opening quarter. Boy, has this gymnasium livened up. Chant for defense from the Etiwanda Eagles fans. Jump shot, no good. Oh, almost stripped away by number 15, Daryl Adigbu. And putting on the pressure was number 11, CJ Highland. And Damien will get the ball back. Checking in the ball game now is John Prater, the senior. And he's taking over for CJ Highland. So Prater in for Highland. This ball slapped away, but quickly picked up by Damien. And again, both teams, the elite in their respective leagues. First place Damien, 6-0, 20-1. Here's a fight for the ball and a turnover. That was Daryl Adigwu got the turnover in his arms. Etiwanda, 6-0, 21-1. From the free throw line, the ball is rejected and back to the hands of Clayton White. Clayton White, the senior point guard. Spartans used to be in the Sierra League before the realignment occurred last year. And with 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter, let's see if Damien can get that last shot off. Shot clock has been turned off. Putting on good pressure. Man-to-man defense is what Etiwanda's Dave Kleckner puts on. And they were looking for a travel. And the shot goes up and in. That was taken by number 3, Clayton White, for 2 points. So the Etiwanda Eagles trail 13-10. Damien Spartans on top. And in the first quarter, we'll recap Clayton White with 2 points. Jared Dizon with 2 points. Chris Reyes with 4. Keith Cavanaugh with 3 points. Then you have Brandon Towns with 2 points. Jordan McLaughling with a basket from the field goal area. And then 4 points. He's 4 for 4 from the field goal, or check that rather, from the free throw line. And then Dominic Walker with 2 points. And the score is 13-10, trailing by 3. So we're glad you could join us. Our third and final game of our coverage here on the Southern California Shootout, 10th Annual Shootout here on the campus of Azusa Pacific University on Hamlow Court. We're glad you could join us. I'm Anthony Serenano along with Brian Gillette. Brian will join us on our weekly podcast, and we're going to discuss all three games. We have seen some amazing shots, especially in that Los Osos Roland game. We saw a young man from 75 feet out with 3 seconds left going into halftime, nailing it. We also saw one in the Upland Chino Hills game. Wasn't quite as far, but it was still at the buzzer, and he shot it and made it in for 3 points. So we wouldn't doubt if we see one of those big 3-point baskets here at the buzzer. Shot, put it up and in for Damien. Jared Dizon picks up his 4th point in the ball game, and the Damien Spartans in the lead, 15-10. Good ball game, not illed with fouls, still playing well. And look at that, nice shot there by Jordan McLaughling. McLaughling with 4 points they show here, but I actually think he's got more than that. I've got him with 4 points from the field and then 4 points from the free throw line for a total of 8. Looks like there's going to be a foul called on the Etiwanda Eagles. And going to the free throw line for Damien is Jeremy Hemsley. The first one was missed. Second one here, sinks it. So it's now a 16-12 lead, 7:16 remaining. Shot goes up, counted in and good. That goes to number 11, check that. Yeah, number 11, Jordan McLaughling, they can show it here. But for a moment there, they said Brandon Towns, but maybe for the assist. Here's a shot for 3, no good. Rebound to McLaughling. Holding things up as Walker decides to go in the paint and is caught up. And a jump ball possession. The arrow is pointed to the Damien Spartans, and Damien will get the ball with the arrow pointing their way. .6:35 remaining in the first half. Almost thinking about shooting from the top of the key. But this time, Dominic Alexander has it, goes in, and it's swatted away. Followed up for a second chance is Brandon Towns, and there's a whistle. Jordan McLaughling now, looks like they fixed the board there. Jordan McLaughling has 10 points now. As the the Etiwanda Eagles are considered the home team. Brandon Towns hits that. Damien considered the away team, although many would say Damien's a lot closer to Azusa Pacific than Etiwanda. Sure, they figure that with a coin toss, maybe pick a number or the shell game, who knows? And Brandon Towns hits the pair, so it's now a 16-16 ball game. Towns with 4 points in the game. Maybe they had Gordon Hamlow go in and say, guess the number between 1 and 10. Winner gets to be the home team. Damien will get the ball back. Another loose ball. Turnover. Look for the nice 3 basket by number 3, Clayton White, the senior. Loose ball. And it looks like it was tipped out by Etiwanda. Checking to come in the ballgame is Sheldon Blackwell. He'll take the place of Brandon Towns. Blackwell, a junior. The jumper, no good. Rebound by Blackwell. And here's Blackwell. He's going coast to coast, holds the ball back. Give it to Fleming. Pass it around to Walker. Goes off the foot of Alexander. He's on the ground. Loose ball. Damien with the ball. Back in the hands of the Spartans. And it looks like from behind, Blackwell pushes it out. And Damien will get the ball back. Checking in for Damien now is number 10, Jared Dizon. Dizon with 4 points in the game. He's taking the place of number 12, John Prater. Coming back in the ball game for Etiwanda is Daryl Adigwu. With 5:40 remaining in the first half. Ball stolen away from McLaughling. Last touch by Damien somehow there, and ball goes back to Etiwanda. So Etiwanda will get the ball back at midcourt. Jordan McLaughling with the ball. And with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Loose ball, trying to recover was Blackwell. He does. And around the horn, the Etiwanda Eagles go. Shot taken by Sam Fleming, no good. A whistle underneath the basket, and the ball going back to Damien. As the ball went out of bounds, and Damien will take over. Checking in now for Etiwanda is DeLewis Johnson. He takes the place of Sam Fleming. So head coach Dave Kleckner not wasting any time, making sure the reserves keep moving in, keeping everyone fresh against this Damien team. Driving through the lane, putting it up, and gets the bounce in for number 15, Chris Reyes. Reyes with 6 points. 18-16 the score, 4:55 remaining in the first half. Here in the Southern California Shootout, 10th Annual Shootout. Here from Azusa Pacific University. Glad you could join us here on SportsSceneTV.net. And look at the long three from McLaughling. Air ball, missed it, and rebound by Reyes. Quick transition, fast pace, try to get the ball up, stripped out of the hands by Dominic Walker, and here comes Walker. Passes the ball over to Blackwell. Blackwell puts it up, and it just rolls in and out. And two jerseys, oh wow, coming out of nowhere was number 15, Daryl Adigwu. I mean, it was two green jerseys, and you thought that it was going to go to Damien Spartans, but Adigwu right there just sandwiches himself in between and steals the ball. So going to the line will be Daryl Adigwu. He'll get a chance to go up for two. Adigwu nails the first one. Score is now 18-17, 1 point ball game. Checking in for Damien is CJ Highland. He's going to take the spot for Isaiah McCullough. And this tournament, well organized. I mean, from the staffing all the way to the scorekeeper, even the PA announcer, Sea-Dog down there, as this one gets nailed in by Daryl Adigwu. He is doing a great job behind the mic, the golden voice of APU. There he is. 4:11 remaining. We're tied up at 18. We're definitely feeling the love from Sea-Dog, letting everyone know in the auditorium that SportsSceneTV.net is here to show you the full game, highlights, and much more. Oh, look at the steal from Jordan McLaughling. We can see another dunk. There it is, another dunk by Jordan McLaughling. Oh, man. This game is an awesome game for fans. As spectators, someone who enjoys basketball, this game is for you. Oh, wow, falling to his knees, missing his step was number 3, Clayton White, and trying to drive to the basket. And crashing into the padding there was DeLewis Johnson. So we've seen two dunks by Jordan McLaughling, and there is going to be a blocking foul against Damien's Clayton White, and DeLewis Johnson, the freshman, is going to go to the line for two. Oh, he misses that one. Still a 2-point ball game. Checking in now for the Etiwanda Eagles, Brandon Towns and Dominic Alexander. So let's see if the young man freshman, Johnson, can hit the second one. 1 for 1, has 1 point in the ball game. 21-18 is the score. The Etiwanda Eagles in the lead. They were trailing early on, but they came back here. And the Damien Spartans, led by their head coach, Matt Dunn. Two premier teams here in the area. And we've had an opportunity to cover the Etiwanda Eagles, now the Damien Spartans. There's a turnover. DeLewis Johnson, the freshman, right there to intercept the ball. And with 3 minutes remaining, it's 21-18 the score, and Etiwanda looking to put more points on the board here. 20 seconds on the shot clock. It's a 35-second regulation shot clock. So Etiwanda has time to look around, to look for the shot. Here's a shot for three, just missed. And rebound by Damien, number 25, Jeremy Hensley. And a whistle to stop play. And the foul going to go against the Etiwanda Eagles, Sheldon Blackwell, number 1. That's his second personal foul in the game. And when I say him, that's number 1, Sheldon Blackwell, the junior. Fast-paced ball game. The shot for three, then looks like number 10, Jared Dizon, is going to go to the line for three. The shot was on Dominic Alexander. He's talking to the official. He said, I thought I just bumped him, that's all. And the official said, no, that's enough for a foul. So trying to make it for a three-point play is Dizon. Sinks it in. Second one is good by Jared. So with 2:32, it's a 21-20. This could tie things up. Head coach Dave Kleckner talking to the official, trying to find out where the foul was. Puts this young man to the three-point line. He ends up sinking all three of them. So we are even at 21, 2:31 remaining here in the first half. Glad you could join us here on SportsSceneTV.net. I'm Anthony Serenano, along with Brian Gillette, who's behind the camera lens, bringing you the great pictures. Definitely would love to hear your feedback and let us know what your thoughts of this full game coverage are. What your thoughts are. This is our first set of full games. Here's a shot for a long three. No good. That was taken by Brandon Towns. 2 minutes remaining. Trying to go up for the layup. And Clayton White sinks it in. And I tell you got to enjoy the golden voice here at APU. C-Dog, he's getting really into it and getting everyone pumped up. Here's a shot for three, no good. As that layup was made from Clayton White, and he just said it. He just made a nice little remark, a burn, baby, burn, and I guess he's on fire. Sheldon Blackwell puts it up, no good. Volleyed around, and let's see. Ball will go back to Damien. And the gentleman on the right side, that is Professor Pete Marshall. He was on our podcast last week trying to help us decipher on how the CIF puts together the leagues as far as playoffs and divisions and how everything works. And as Brian, I was going to call you Brandon, Brandon. As Brian said, Anthony, this is clear as mud after we talked to Pete. And I think Pete Marshall did a good job in explaining how things are filtered out as the ball is turned over back to Etiwanda. And as Pete said, you know, it's not perfect. The jump shot, no good. Rebound back to Damien. And a little mid-court collision between Etiwanda's Dominic Alexander and Clayton White of the Spartans. But as Pete said, you know, it's not perfect. It's a work in progress, and CIFs continue working out the bugs and seeing how they can make it the best case scenario. And eventually, they'll get to the way they did with football season, where we saw some really good playoff games and some really good teams going head-to-head. And even with games like this at the Southern California Shootout, these non-league games showing us some really good head-to-head matchups. The game before this one was Colony Titans against the Rigetti Warriors, and Rigetti showed us their strength. They actually came out with a victory, but they had some solid players. Number 32, Ryan McGreedy, was one of them, and he really showed us his stuff. Looks like Clayton White's going to the line with 56.2 seconds remaining. He sinks that one. That's his first free throw basket of the night. and the Warriors traveling from Santa Maria. So nice long drive, and they go home with a nice victory. So they always say when you leave a place with a loss, the drive seems to be a lot longer. So maybe the drive to Santa Margarita will be a little bit quicker after their victory over Colony. Santa Maria. .42 seconds remaining. Driving to the lane, waiting for some movement there was number 4, Brandon Towns. He refollows that up, and Towns gets it up. So Towns picks up his 6th point in the ball game. 26 seconds remaining here in this first half. Shot clock is turned off. 18 seconds. Defensive pressure by McLaughling put on. Let's see how this Etiwanda man-to-man defense works against this Damien Spartans offense. Wide open, the shot for 3. Chris Reyes has it bounce around, no good, volleyed around, and into the hands of Etiwanda. 1 second, the shot for 3 goes into the stands, and we're going to go into halftime with the Etiwanda Eagles trailing 25-23. When we come back from halftime, we'll give you some numbers, leading scorers from both sides, so don't go away. We'll be right back as we go into second half action with the Damien Spartans leading 25-23. And welcome back, everyone, from halftime here on the SportsSceneTV.net coverage of the 10th Annual Southern California Shootout here from Azusa Pacific University in the Felix Center on Hamlow Court. The score is Damien 25, Etiwanda 23. Damien Spartans, Division III AAA out of the Sierra League at first place, 6-0 in league, 20-1 overall. And they beat Claremont 62-42 before coming into this ball game on the 27th. Etiwanda is in the 1AA league in the baseline, first place with a record of 6-0, 21-1 overall. They beat Glendora 55-40 on January 27th. We'll give you some leading numbers here as we go into the second half. For Damien, their leading scorer with 6 points, Clayton White, followed along with Chris Reyes with 6. On the flip side, as Damien has the ball here, Brandon Towns with 6 points for Etiwanda, 12 points for Jordan McLaughling. Loose ball turnover. Here come the Etiwanda Eagles, and we're going to get a charging call on Sheldon Blackwell, the junior. And Brian, familiar with that official right there, and Brian always get an opportunity to talk to the official before the game to make sure he stays in his proper place at the court side when he's covering the games, shooting highlights, and the official there, someone he's familiar with, as Brian had a chance to meet him when we covered a Diamond Bar game. Brian says he enjoys his officiating as he gets very excited and animated, as we saw with the charging call. Loose ball and a turnover back to the Etiwanda Eagles. In the last 2 games that we have covered, we have seen a big transition from the team that's been trailing in the first half in the second half. Mainly on defense, they get a lot more aggressive, and it allows them to turn the ball over from their opponents more often and allows them to score more points. We'll see if that happens here with the Eagles, as triple teamed is McLaughling underneath the basket with the reverse layup, misses. And that was number 21, Sam Fleming. Trying to make the save was Daryl Adugu, number 15. Foul's going to go against the Damien Spartans, Clayton White. Picks up his 3rd personal foul in the game. And again, we are glad you can join us, and we're glad we could bring you the coverage. Triple headers going to the basket and counted in and good for number 4, Brandon Towns. The Eagles now tie the game up at 25. Hey, we decided let's bring some full games to the website, and not only did we do 1, we're doing 3. We brought you Roland versus Los Osos, Upland versus Chino Hills, and Damien versus Etiwanda. So I'll tell you, if we decide to jump in the water, we go with both feet in. Hopefully this was a success and not a belly flop. Fleming Passes the ball the outside, loose ball. Goes back to the Eagles. Checking in for Damien, number 25, Jeremy Hemsley. The freshman for Damien. And the sophomore for Etiwanda, McLaughling with the ball. 10-foot jumper is good for McLaughling. 14 points for Jordan. There's the Eagle. The Eagle was right there on the side of McLaughlin's left side of his head. Think of all the artwork that person went into designing that. Try to go up for the layup, no good. Try to follow up was McLaughling. And Damien will get the ball back. .538 here in the third quarter remaining. 27-25 the score for Etiwanda. They are in the lead. They were trailing 25-23. Shot no good. Rebound back to Etiwanda. So we've almost gone 3 minutes here. Etiwanda with or rather check that Damien without a basket. And that could change here. Up, loose ball, turnover, put it up and in for the layup. Dominic Walker, 4 points in the ball game. Leading the Etiwanda Eagles, Jordan McLaughling. Had a chance to interview him for our scholar athlete. Very intelligent, very well spoken, all around good young man, and that's what we like to bring in those scholar athlete segments. And there's McLaughling with the ball. Make sure you check out our website every week for our scholar athlete of the week. The shot for three misses. That was taken by Dominic Walker. Here comes Damien. Yet to score. 4:35 remaining in the third quarter. They were leading 25-23. Here's a shot, bounces in and out, rebound back to Etiwanda. Here's the shot, hitting the court hard. Number 20, Dominic Walker, but he gets up, he'll go to line to shoot two. Going to have a timeout taken by the Damien Spartans, and a round of applause from the Etiwanda Eagles crowd here in the Felix Center on the campus of Azusa Pacific University on Hamlow Court. And for the Etiwanda Eagles, their head coach, Dave Kleckner. And Coach Kleckner, we had a chance to interview him after their game against Upland. And hopefully Coach Kleckner, who has friends, I believe, and family back home in Chicago, had an opportunity to see that and see the great program that he has over at Etiwanda, and now they get an opportunity to see a full game and see the lights of all of his young players that he has here at Etiwanda High School. So Coach Dave Kleckner and his team in first place in the Baseline League, 6-0 in league play, 21-1 overall. In their league, in the Baseline League, we have Upland, Glendora, Rancho Cucamonga, Alta Loma, Los Osos, and they're coming off a victory 55-40 over Glendora. And my partner, Brian Gillette, wants to make sure that we let everyone know that Etiwanda is known throughout the area for its premier program. He even had an opportunity to read an article with Coach David Kleckner in the LA Times. Said, we're a man-to-man defense team. Don't even whisper the zone defense words. Take the shot in by Dominic Walker. Dominic Walker lands that one. Walker's first shot at the free throw line was good. Let's see how he does on his second. Second one is good as well. 2 for 2. 31-25. 4:21 remaining in the third quarter. I was going to say second quarter. This game's going by so quick. Fast-paced second half, and that's what we said. That was the tempo for the last two games that we covered. Here's a shot for three. Just missed there by John Prater. Rebound return to Damien. We saw it in Los Osos. They came back in the second half more aggressive. Defense was really putting on the pressure. Same thing with Upland and Chino Hills. This shot's no good. Taken again by John Prater. What a physical game this has turned into. Physical and aggressive and enjoyable for any basketball fan. And we saw that second half where Chino Hills came back a little more aggressive and send him into overtime, but unable to keep in the game as the Upland Highlanders went on to get the win. Same thing here in this ball game. The Etiwanda Eagles come into the second half, a lot more aggressive, putting on the defense. And I'll tell you one thing, we're at 3:37 here in the third quarter. 31-25 is the score. McLaughling sinks it in to make it 32-25. The score going into halftime was 25-23 Damien. The score is 32-25 Etiwanda. So Damien yet to score. And if anyone remembers that game against Upland, the Etiwanda Eagles, Jordan McLaughling sinks it. The Etiwanda Eagles kept Upland to only 2 points in the third quarter. Could this be a repeat? Could it be 2 points? Could it be 1 point? Could it be no points? 3:28 still remaining in the third quarter. Chant of defense from the Eagle faithful. Here's the turnover. Taking it up to the basket himself after the turnover is Sam Fleming. And Sam Fleming puts it up and in. 35-25, a 10-0 run by the Etiwanda Eagles. The shot, no good. Volleyed around, back into McLaughlin's hand. Back, tripped around, and has that ball with some English on it. And that is number 20, Dominic Walker. And timeout taken by the Damien Spartans. 37-25 the score, with 2:50 remaining in the third quarter. So a 14-point run for the Etiwanda Eagles. 14-point run, amazing. And the chant of the Eagles going on by the Etiwanda faithful. And Brian, what a big difference this has been from earlier on when we had the timeout called or halftime. It was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Well, with this gymnasium getting filled for this premier game, you don't even hear a pin drop. So we're going to start the third, or continue on with the third quarter. 2:50 remaining, 37-25. And a nice reminder to me that if you're enjoying these games, we'll be back next year to bring some more of these premier games. But also don't forget, throughout the rest of the year for boys basketball, we're going to bring you more and more coverage. And we have a game of the week every week here on SportsSceneTV.net, whether it be highlights or now even full games. Damien inbounds the ball. That is number 3, Clayton White, the senior. 2:42 remaining. Again, Damien has yet to score a basket since the third quarter started. And there's a whistle and a foul. And it looks like going to the line will be Daryl, or rather check that, Chris Reyes. The foul was called on number 20, Dominic Walker. That's the first foul on Walker. And that one doesn't go in. It's amazing. I guess when the well goes dry, it runs dry. Well, there you go. There's a shot, and Reyes, with 2:36 remaining in the third quarter, finally gets some points on the board for Damien. And again, 2 points is what the Etiwanda Eagles held Upland a few weeks ago. Here's a shot for a long 2, in and good for number 4, Brandon Towns. 39-26 is the score. 2:13 remaining. Towns with 10 points in the game. From the free throw line, that one bounces around as Reyes unable to get that one to fall in. So with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter, driving up the lane, no look pass, put it up, and it rolls off the lip of the rim. That was put up by Towns. Loose ball, put it back up again by Towns. He misses that one, and Clayton White picks it up for Damien. Goes to midcourt. He looks no look pass. He gives it to number 25, Jeremy Hemsley. He puts it up, no good. Here's Reyes, puts it up, and throws it in the basket for the 2 points. So Reyes with the 3 points for the Damien Spartans here in the third quarter. This ball is blocked by Helmsley. So he has the ball get knocked loose and gives it back to his teammates. And a shot for three. Does not go in, and going over the back, trying to make the catch on the ball was number 15, Chris Reyes. You got to give it to Reyes here in the third quarter. He is playing aggressively. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Etiwanda. Yeah, we really thought up here that he was going over the back, but the official down below, closer to the court than we are, says no, there was a blocking foul. Now we got Jordan McLaughling in the ball game, also Sheldon Blackwell and Sam Fleming to come in. Jordan McLaughling with 12 points in the first half, 4 here in the third, so a total of 16. Shot goes up and in again. So Chris Reyes owning the third quarter here for Damien. 5 points here in the third. And the only 5 points for Damien in the third. McLaughling for a long three. Sinks it in. Jordan McLaughling making it look easy. That is 19 points for the young man. And we're just getting ready to wrap up the third quarter. So he could make 26 like he was saying in that last game against Upland. Loose ball. Let's see who they're going to award it to. They're going to give the ball back to Damien. 12-point lead by Etiwanda, 42-30. 32.9 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. An aggressive second half by Etiwanda. They came out firing, and we got a loose ball foul. Foul's going against the Eagles. Sam Fleming. As this is our third and final game of our triple header telecast, webcast, broadcast, whatever cast you want to call it. We've been here for 3 games, and we've seen 3 exciting games. The Chino Hills Upland game took us into overtime. The Roland Los Osos game showed us a 75-foot three-point basket made at the buzzer. And now we're seeing a big game turnaround by the Etiwanda Eagles, who were trailing in the first half, to come back and take a 42-30 lead and keep Damien to about 5 points. And all those points were scored by the Spartans' number 15, Chris Reyes. Loose ball, and Damien recovers. 2 seconds remaining for 3. Reyes misses, and the buzzer's going to sound. So we go into the fourth quarter with the Etiwanda Eagles leading 42-30. And we're glad you could join us here on the SportsSceneTV.net. There's our golden voice. He turned around. I know Brian had worked something out with him and said, hey, when you hear me, there we go, the golden voice, Sea-Dog. There he is, the golden voice of APU. And he is really getting the crowd worked up here in the gymnasium. And he's doing an awesome job. He's probably looking at Brian going, what's going on? He's still looking around. Well, if anybody can confuse anyone, that would be Brian Gillette. So 42-30 is the score. So the Damien Spartans were held to 5 points in the third quarter by the Etiwanda Eagles defense. And on the flip side, though, the Etiwanda Eagles only had 25 points. Now they have 42. So 17-point run for Etiwanda in that third quarter. Go into fourth quarter now. 8 minutes on the clock. And the final and last quarter here in the ball game and of our coverage. McLaughling with the pass to number 4, Brandon Towns. And you got to give it to the golden voice, Sea-Dog, getting the Etiwanda crowd pumped up when they make a basket, and also the Damien crowd when they make a basket. He gets them pumped up as well. So I'm sure if you want to hear the golden voice, just come over to any Azusa Pacific University game and he'll get you going. Chris Reyes keeps the scoring going here in the fourth quarter. He has scored the last points for Damien here. 7 points. Top of the three, key for three. Jordan McLaughling again. McLaughling with 22 points. We're going to start calling Jordan McLaughling the human highlight reel. And he's only a sophomore. And a scholar athlete as well. That's right. Foul's going to go against Sam Fleming of Etiwanda. I tell you, with this little break in the action, we definitely have to thank Coach Gordon Hamlow of the Rolling Raiders, who puts on and coordinates this Southern California Shootout. The 10th shootout he has put together. We're looking for 50 shootouts to come. Here's the steal. Sheldon Blackwell puts it up, taps the glass. 2 points for Blackwell. So the junior forward, Sheldon Blackwell, gets 2 points here in the ball game. 49-32 is the score. Coach Gordon Hamlow of the Raiders putting this SoCal shootout together, and we're seeing the premiere here in the area. Hemsley with the 2 points. 6:17 remaining in the game. 49-34 the score. Etiwanda goes to McLaughling. Through the paint, loose ball, saved by, almost shaved by Sam Fleming. But the ball goes back to Damien. 22 points for the Etiwanda Eagles. Number 11, Jordan McLaughling. Then followed that on his team, number 4, Brandon Towns with 12. 8 points for number 20, Dominic Walker. Right up at the paint, the shot, the ball bounces around, rebound back to the Etiwanda Eagles. On the flip side for Damien, 13 points for number 15, Chris Reyes. 7 points for number 10, Jared Dizon. And another 6 points for number 3, Clayton White. Shot goes up and in. And Sam Fleming gets 2 points. 4 points total in the ball game. Eagle faithful chanting defense, making noise here in the Felix Center as the Etiwanda Eagles and the Damien Spartans playing on Hamlow Court. Shot for a long 3. Tipped and up and in. And it looks like Chris Reyes got the hand on that one. And Reyes with 4 points here in the fourth quarter. And Reyes with 15 total. There you see the Damien Spartans. They're led by head coach Matt Dunn. We mentioned Damien in Division III, AAA. Out of the Sierra League, first place, 6-0 in league, 20 wins and 1 loss overall. They beat Claremont 62-42 on January 27th. In the Sierra League, we have Chino Hills, which we saw earlier, play Upland. Ayala, which we had covered earlier on in the week here on Sports Scene TV as they played Claremont. Have not covered South Hills as of yet. Claremont and Charter Oak. Head coach Matt Dunn leading his team here in this big game between 2 premier teams in their leagues and possibly in their divisions. 5 minutes remaining in the game, 5:03 to be exact. 51-36 is the score. And there's Jordan McLaughling inbounding the ball. Back to McLaughling, and he slips. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Damien. They're going to call it on Damien's number 25, Jeremy Hemsley, the freshman. 4:45 remaining. Driving to the basket was Dominic Walker, and he gets roughed up a bit. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Damien's Chris Reyes picks up the foul. On the scoreboard shows to be his third personal foul in the game. So Walker already 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Make it 3 for 3. And he hits the other one. So Dominic Walker, perfect from the free throw line, 4 for 4. And I know we can ask you viewers who are watching what your thoughts in this ball game are. I'm going to look at our cameraman Brian Gillette and see if he's giving us a thumbs up on this one. Yeah, there you see. He's giving us the big yes. And now everyone who's watching this is seasick, but hey, we want to hear what Brian says because that's what he says, and that's all that matters. And that's how he sees it. That's right. And this night's not even over, even though our telecast will be over. As a nice move there by Damien's number 25, Jeremy Hemsley. But there's another ball game after this one. (53-38). Etiwanda really opened the game up here in the third quarter. And looks like Jordan McLaughlin's going to get hit with the travel call as he went down. And head coach Dave Kleckner going to call a timeout to talk to his team. So this is the 10th annual Southern California Shootout coming to you from Azusa Pacific University. I'm Anthony Serenana along with Brian Gillette here on SportsSceneTV.net as we're bringing you a full coverage of this ball game. And there you see the Etiwanda Eagles. And also be sure to check out our weekly highlights as we cover a game of the week. And also don't forget to listen to our weekly podcast. We definitely will recap this game. And don't forget to also listen to our podcast and sign on with us on iTunes. And finally, don't forget to watch our Scholar Athlete. Oh, there we are, Scholar Athlete, because they are students first. And we want to recognize them for all their hard work. So if we get a chance to see the Damien Spartans, you can see head coach of the Spartans, Matt Dunn, really working on the whiteboard there, coming up with some game plans here as his team trails 53-38. And there you see head coach Matt Dunn. As we mentioned, head coach Matt Dunn with 2 freshmen on the team, Jeremy Hemsley, Isaiah McCullough, Ryan Jourdain, Kevin Alfiario, Jared Dizon, Keith Kavanaugh, Calvin Collins, all juniors. We'll give you the breakdown of the Etiwanda Eagles shortly here. Ball is tipped by number 21, Sam Fleming, coast to coast, and it rolls in for the basket. 6 points for Fleming in the ball game. 55-38. Etiwanda again came in the second half, aggressive, defensive-wise. Here's Reyes, who's having a good second half. That one rolls in. 6 points here in the fourth quarter. Reyes with 17 in the ballgame. He's leading his team. That one fell right into the hands of number 12, John Prater, with the interception. The shot for 3 off the side of the glass there. And Etiwanda gets the ball back. Jordan McLaughling fires that one over to teammate Dominic Walker. Back to McLaughling again to Blackwell. Watch out, they're all dangerous from three-point area we've seen so far. And that's Walker with the ball. Number 20, Dominic Walker, going up against number 20, Keith Kavanaugh. Rather, check that, 25. Jeremy Hemsley. Towns with the ball, 6 seconds for McLaughling. And he sinks it in. Is there not anything Jordan McLaughling cannot do? If there is, we haven't seen it. He's doing it all. 3-point baskets, layups, slam dunks at the free throw line. What was a pass intercepted by Etiwanda. And it's the Eagles sophomore, Jordan McLaughling. 2:26 remaining in the game. Two premier teams. We are seeing a treat of a ball game here. The shot goes up. Oh, wow, volleyed in. And give it to Jordan McLaughling. 27 points for McLaughling. Loose ball, and they're going to call a foul on Jordan McLaughling. 27 points for McLaughling. And I know we had talked to him again, Upland. We asked him, how is 20 points the most you scored? He goes, no, I think I scored 26. Well, tonight he scored 27. Scott, must be a career high for him. Hopefully we get an opportunity to talk to head coach Dave Kleckner after the game and talk about his thoughts on his team's performance here. I mean, they're playing the Damien Spartans. Again, the Spartans, a 1AA team. And there's the Etiwanda Eagles. And with 2:05, 60-40, 20-point lead. And there's the Etiwanda Eagles, head coach Dave Kleckner, right in the center of the circle. And the fans from Chicago have to be proud of Mr. Kleckner, as he is really showing some good work with this team, the Etiwanda Eagles. We saw them against Upland. We were amazed. Now we're watching the game against Damien. We're even more amazed. So if you're looking to see a good ball game, make sure you locate the Etiwanda team. If they're in your area, you definitely got to go watch. And the same thing for Damien. The Damien basketball team's in your area, you got to go watch them play. As this has been dubbed the two premier teams of our area. And we were told by Coach Gordon Hamlow of the Rolling Raiders and also the coordinator of this shootout, we are glad to have these two teams here playing because these two are the highlights here. Wow, oh my goodness. It looked like a fake pass, and then Sam Fleming went for the shot, but then the ball just got pushed back down by Chris Reyes, and he gets hit with the foul. That's Reyes' fourth foul in the ball game. And the shot by Fleming is no good. Fleming with 6 points in the game. His second attempt here at the free throw line. He is 0 for 1, 0 for 2. Damien with the ball back. And also, if you get a chance, make sure you read the San Bernardino Sun, Pete Marshall, in the stands here, writing the article. So make sure you support Pete and read his article in his blog. Chris Reyes again with the shot. 6 points in the game for Reyes. Rather, check that, 6 points for Reyes in the fourth quarter. Total of 19 in the ball game. And trying to put it up was Fleming, and he gets denied on that one. And looks like Etiwanda will get the ball back. And we have a whistle and play stops. So Hemsley picks up his third foul in the game. And going to the line is Dominic Walker, with head coach Dave Kleckner watching on hand, and the shot is good by Walker. Walker is 5 for 5 at the free throw line. Let's make it 6 for 6. 1 minute remaining in the game. 62-42, 20-point lead. Turnover. Here is Fleming. Puts it up and is denied again. But and the Etiwanda Eagles with the ball back. And they're just going to let time expire or run down as much as possible. 38 seconds on the game clock, 16 on the shot. 27 points for Jordan McLaughling in the game. Chris Reyes for Damien, 19 points. Put it up and in. That is the Eagles' number 20, Dominic Walker. Walker with 14 points. That shot no good. Rebound, let's see, volleyed around. Let's give you some numbers here for Etiwanda with 14 points. Mentioned Dominic Walker, 12 points. Brandon Towns, 27 points. Jordan McLaughling, 2 points for Sheldon Blackwell. 6 points for Sam Fleming. 1 point for DeLewis Johnson. Shot in there for 3. And that is Clayton White for 3. And here we go with 1 second left. And time has expired. And the Etiwanda Eagles come away with a victory. 64-45. And a big difference in the game as these two teams meet at midcourt has to be the second half when the Etiwanda Eagles kept the Damien Spartans to just 5 points in the third quarter. On the flip side, I believe Damien scored like 14 points. So both teams meeting at midcourt, and the two premier teams in our local area giving high fives, low fives, handshakes, and the Etiwanda Eagles go away with a victory. And their records are going to go into the win column. They're going to get 22 wins, 1 loss. For the Damien Spartans, they're going to have 20 wins and 2 losses. Well, we hope you enjoyed our triple header coverage here at the Southern California Shootout, the 10th Annual Southern California Shootout. For everyone here at SportsSceneTV.net, there goes Jordan McLaughling, 27 points. I'd like to thank my cameraman, Brian Gillette, and partner. We look forward to talking to you guys in our Monday podcast, weekly podcast. But also we want to thank head coach Gordon Hamlow of the Roland Raiders. As he has coordinated this event, we're glad you could join us. And we're glad that head coach Gordon Hamlow had us come here, invited us here to bring this coverage. 3 games that we brought to you, and we hope you enjoyed them. So for Brian, this is Anthony. Thanks for joining us. The final score, the Etiwanda Eagles 64, the Damien Spartans 45. So long, everybody.